Alright, we should be live. Let me check YouTube just to make sure. Let me see that infinite window just for a moment.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on. Hit me. Slap me with that infinite window.
Smack
There
me
it
with
is. Alrighty, good evening everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Post-Apocalyptic News Radio, your only source for the latest goings-on in the little corner of the post-apocalyptic wasteland we call home. We are back live for another session of Dungeons & Dragons, the campaign, The Forsaken Souls. We are here with Chef, Pilot, and Bean. Now, last we left off, we worked our way into Ketud's past. We are in some kind of grain field. The grain is taller than Bella, a little taller than Ketud. Alastor and Bean, they could see over it just fine, and they could see a scarecrow over there, and looks like a shed in the distance, maybe some ruins. Ketud, recognizing this field, he knows where he is, he knows what happened here. He turns to his friends and he warns them. There is a dragon here. There is a black dragon that destroyed my town, and I do not know when it will come. Panicked and expecting the worst, our Forsaken heroes decided to take cover, find anywhere that they could hide, because they know that a fight with a dragon is not a fight that they could hope to win. Ketud, remembering that the farmer that worked this field, Farmer Wilkes, he had a silo and a shed just over there. We could take shelter there. And so they took, with haste, they ran, got over to the silo, and they hid. They hid for hours. 2, maybe 3. As time went by. Eventually, they got bored. Bella decided to take a look around and got up high to see what she could see. Now, she noticed something interesting. The scarecrow in the field had been moving around, but there was nobody in the field. And from her vantage point, she would see if somebody was. Well, then the scarecrow must be moving on its own. That's a reasonable assumption. Calling Alastor up, explaining this information, Bella goes back down, explains to the rest of the group, and our heroes decide there's no point in remaining here, especially if that scarecrow could find them. And so they take their leave, but they hear a thumping behind them. Constantly. It's loud, and it's getting closer. They turn back, and they see the scarecrow with haste on their heels. They run, but they are not able to outspeed it, and Nephylia, in her brilliance, turns and causes this scarecrow to fly into the air 20 feet, unable to escape the grasp of a levitation spell. The scarecrow did hover for 10 minutes, giving our heroes plenty of time to escape. They ran towards the village. They could see it. It was pristine. It is just how you remembered it, Ketud. But then you heard the roar. You heard the cry of thunder in the distance, and you looked. And there, in the sky, a winged death approached. The shadow of doom was upon you. You could see movement down in the town. The townspeople, and then something else. You remembered. They invaded on this day. You knew you had to hide. You were no match for the dragon, and you could not take the entire force, not by yourselves. Where to hide? The river. There's a river that runs just near the town. And so, we are running towards the river. And this is where we begin.
Alrighty.
Well,
How far away is the river from us still?
The river is a good distance away. It's roughly 200 feet. And you must remember, the river only comes down and touches the town. It doesn't run alongside it. It's like, if the town's here, the river comes down and loops. So it's kind of on that little bend.
How fast is that dragon approaching?
It's difficult to tell, as it is quite far out. However, you've heard stories and legends of dragons. You know that they move with such speed. You know that it's coming quickly, faster than anything you've ever seen, but you don't know exactly how fast.
I think we should just keep running for the river and see if we can make it in time.
Let's
I'm going to hop off Alastor's back to lighten the load a little bit, and I'm gonna start sprinting, all out sprint.
All right. And so you begin sprinting to the river, and everybody else, I assume, is following.
yes.
All right. Now I have to ask, are you doing so quietly, or are you doing so in such a panic as to not hide your movements?
We were on an open road, right? Like there was nothing around us.
Yeah, there was no way to hide.
Except divots in the ground, I think. But that was it. Like they weren't even that much.
I think. Yeah, I was gonna say. I imagine that we're gonna be pretty exposed.
Yeah. I mean, I have minor illusion as a cantrip, and I could possibly try to put something in front of us to protect us. But if we get caught out here, we're done. So.
I'm going to say that I am blitzing, and that I am moving at the full possible move speed that I can.
Okay. All right. As you approach the river with such terrible haste, you look towards the town, watching the creature in the sky, quite nervously. You look in the town and you see halflings and strange reptilian creatures running amok. The reptiles, they walk on 2 legs, and they appear not dissimilar from miniature dragonborn. They're attacking the halflings without prejudice. Men, women, and children are being struck with clubs, spears, swords, and sickles, captured in nets to be dragged off to who knows where. Above them, quite some distance away but approaching with dangerous and frightening speed, flies the harbinger of death, a black shadow which thunders in the sky. You hear a sharp roar, and a green haze begins to obscure the air. It's difficult to see, and the air is foul and smells sulfuric.
Don't light a match.
No fireballs, Alastor.
You say that. Where's Alastor?
Oh, no.
Gonna scan my surroundings. Is any trace of Alastor?
Not a one.
It's alright, he probably used Misty Step.
Yeah, you sure better hope so.
Does Bella see Alastor?
You do not.
Nothing? Not even looking around?
Not a trace.
Oh.
I think we would be too busy sprinting for the river to see them. Are we in the town right now, or are we still like outside of the town?
You're outside of the town. You're close enough to see these things, but you're not so close that you're in the town. And to get to the river, you don't have to go into the town.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we can see the people, and if we can see the reptilian monsters and the halflings in front of us, could we skim on the border of the town on the right side?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah, let's just head around the outside toward the river.
Yeah.
All right. And so you continue on towards the river as quickly as you can, with the obscured air hopefully covering you just a little bit, but it's not covering you enough. Ketud, you hear something. Looking around, it's coming from the town, but it's getting louder, and it's a familiar voice. Well, that's Bill O'Hare. He used to run the general goods store, and he was such a kind gentleman. You know, he would have you sweep up his shop, and he would give you some licorice for you and your pa. And you'd take it back to him. Oh, it was a lovely time. But that's his voice. You know it anywhere. And so you look over to where you hear a good Bill O'Hare calling out to you, and sure enough, that's Bill, that's his wife, and that's his infant daughter in her arms, and they're running towards you. They're screaming their heads off, because behind them are 4 of these reptilian creatures, each one armed with a spear, and they're not but an inch away from hitting them. They are 20 feet away from you. And as you see them, Bill looks over. Young Mr. Ketud, what are you doing? Get out of here! What you doing?
Ketud's just... He's going to grimace, and he's going to just turn his head and keep on running, because he knows it's all an illusion. And it pains him to do this. As he hears the screams behind it, but he can't look at it. Chances are he's already seen it before anyway.
Alright. And you keep running. You hear a muffled cry. You hear a baby start to scream. And then it gets very, very quiet. And you keep running. So, Bella, you get to the river first. What you doing?
The river, is the riverbank like a sandy approach? Is it abrupt straight down into the water? And is there something I could hide underneath in like a grassy knoll that would go over the side?
All right. So the river, looking at it, it's not like a sandy thing. It is you've got this well-kept grass, and then you've got a sudden drop into the river on both sides of the bank. The water, it's difficult to see through, especially with the green haze that's now filling the air. But with a perception check, I can tell you what you see.
Alright, let me roll that. Oh, not good. That's a 7 + 1, so an 8.
It's very difficult to see through the water. It's not generally a clear river on the best of days, and right now, with all this gunk in the air, you're not seeing it.
Okay. I think I'm going to climb into the river and kind of cling to the side as much as I can. Just push myself up against the edge.
As you step into the river,
Smiling.
From around you, the water begins to turn. It's turning a sanguine red. The color is spreading.
The color's spreading, like, up the bank?
No, throughout the water.
Dare I ask, Bella sniffs the water. What does it smell like?
You smell the water. Give me a survival check. It's not going to be a high one, but...
It's 12 plus... -1, so 11.
You smell the water, and it at first smells like river water, but you sniff it again. It smells kind of coppery.
Yeah.
As you remain in the water, you see a ripple. Something's coming up, and there is an eyeball. It's floating, lifelessly, bobbing in the water. I think around now, Ketud, Nephylia, welcome to the river. You see Bella standing in the water, examining the water, and I think you would have seen that eyeball rise to the surface and bob.
Does it look like the eyeball we've seen before in the symbols?
It looks like if somebody were to take a halfling and carve out an eye and chuck it into the river.
Are there any more body parts I should be concerned about?
Maybe.
I'm not climbing out of the river. I'm not giving up this opportunity at hiding spot.
What's around us besides just this eyeball? Is there like besides the town, like on our left, is there anything on our right? Let's just say.
So across, you mean across the river?
What's on our what? Oh, well, yeah, sure. What's our surroundings?
Okay, so across the river, you've got a couple of more fields of farmland. You would know that over there, they grew potatoes in that field. That's another one of Farmer Wilkes's fields. Over there, that's where they were trying to grow some carrots. They really didn't take too well, but they were trying. They were trying real hard. You never really knew who was trying that. You never bothered. You didn't like carrots very much. In that field over there, that is where they were getting an orchard going for apples. You know, they planted it a few years back. It's not producing anything yet, but they were getting it going. They're about mid-sized trees. Along the river, not across the river, but along the river. It looks just like just flat land for a while. Ketud, you know that this is where you and the other children, this is where you would play around this area, because it's not in the farmlands, it's not in the middle of town, nobody gave you any hassle over here, so it was a good time right over here. Now, behind you, towards the town, the nearest building is going to be the quote-unquote fishery. It was Connie O'Hare's little establishment. You know, she would go out every day, fish the river, and then she would sell her catches. She called it a fishery, but it was really just a little fishing stand.
Okay. How far away is my parents' home then?
Now that's going to be a little ways over. Now it's still on the river, mind you, but it's not as close as O'Hare's fishing stand. Maybe about 75 feet further down the river.
All right. Ketud's gonna go ahead and look at the river and look at Nephylia and look at Bella and not really know what to do and just say, I don't think we can hide anywhere else. I don't know if the river is the best place to go. Maybe we should try to go from my house.
Didn't you say if we follow the river that we can get to your house?
Yeah, it's up the river over here.
Just get down in here. A little bit of blood never hurt anybody. Come on. We'll follow it down.
I don't. What's down the river, like across the bend?
Like across the river and down?
No, I mean, like if we follow the river down, what I remember would be down the river.
So heading down the river, like if you go past where you and the other children would play, that's kind of outside the bounds of your town. You weren't allowed to go there, but you know, being a rebellious big adventuring boy, you decided I'm gonna go there anyway. You know that there are a couple of hills over there. Sometimes some things would set up camp over there. You never figured out what it was, but you were determined to figure it out, but you never did.
That's where the freaking.
Yeah. Neffy's gonna already be making her way over to the river and begrudgingly getting down into the icky water.
Bella is going to very daintily hold out a hand and help her.
Sounds good. All right, guys, I'm very sorry. I need 5 minutes.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'll explain when I get back.
Okay, so he's gone now. So I'm feeling like, right, with minor illusion, if we were to go into my estate, my family's estate, if anyone was to try to go in there, I could trick them with the minor illusion to make them think that it was an empty room, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I feel like going into the house, if we can like sneak our way there, might be a good opportunity.
Well,
but at the same time,
that's what
That's
I'm trying
the
to do
plan.
with the river. I'm trying to get you to go into the river, because he.
Oh, I thought you wanted to like. Oh, I didn't know you wanted to go into the river to get to my house. I thought the river was deep.
No, the river is not my mainstay plan. The river is, we use it to get to your house unseen, and then we go inside and get to the shelter.
I get the plan.
Yeah, I'm not trying to convince you to be like, hey, the river's our only option. No, it's probably a better idea if we just, utilize it to get somewhere safe.
I get you now.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, this was the original plan. The last time we played before we ended.
Yeah.
Is we were gonna hit the river and we were gonna follow the river to your dad's fishing spot that was sitting outside of the house.
Manor,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
I feel like if we were to go to this is another opportunity. I should just put this out there. I feel like what Post is saying is that if we go down the river to the forest, we'll find kobold camps there.
Right.
Take that as you will. We could either possibly escape through there, or we could possibly try to hold out in Ketud Ma's home.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if those camps are going to be occupied or if they're not going to be occupied. Because if they are, then that's a huge problem for us because we're just playing right into its hand because I don't know if we can take an upfront fight like that. I mean, they're kobolds.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we could either.
A lot of them.
But I feel like all their kobolds just attacked us in the village.
So it's a gamble.
It is a gamble, yeah. I don't know what...
We could, as we go down there, scope it out for a moment as we pass by it. And if it's empty, then we go. If it's not empty, then we just pass by it and we head to the manor. But
I don't think we have that opportunity. I feel like up the river is where my place is, and down the river is where the kobold camp is. If that makes sense.
I thought the river was done in a giant U.
Mm-hmm.
No, just the tip of it touches the town, according to what Pilot said or Post said.
Okay.
It doesn't encircle the town. The town just touches it barely.
I thought it encircled it. I don't know.
I thought a portion of it was that's why your family's estate touches it because it's further into town. And there's a river right outside of your family's estate.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like story plot-wise, we have to go into the town to get to the estate.
That is...
I feel like going out of...
No, because the whole point was that your dad has a window that literally leads out to the river.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He would fish out of the window. We would just jump through the window, right?
No, yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I mean. I feel like for story plot-wise, the story's going to have us go there to Kalama's, estate. It's just, that's the story plot line. The opposite route is to go to the forest and risk the kobold camps, which I feel like it might just be easier for story-wise to go into the... I mean, we might find another portal, because the only thing that I'm worried about is yes, we can hide in the basement, but it's a dead end.
It is true.
That is the only thing I'm worried about.
I'm a little bit concerned about getting cornered in the town and getting captured by kobolds, if I'm going to be completely honest.
That too, and if it starts looking like we might get captured, we might just need to accept it and then try to figure out a different plan of action.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the dragon did take Ketud alive, so I mean, maybe he would try to keep you guys alive because he would want to torture me with seeing you guys die, if that makes sense. But then you guys would still be alive if we get to the prison, and then we can figure out a new plan of escape there.
Well, now hold on. The whole thing about after you made it back over to your family's estate, the basement was untouched.
It was untouched. Yes, it was untouched.
So if we shelter in place in the basement, nobody would see it. Hello.
That's true.
All right.
Hello.
I'm very sorry about that.
That's okay.
DoorDash?
I'll explain what that was after the session.
Or bathroom dash.
Ulcers, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, it sucks.
Ooh.
Anyway.
So, Ketud is gonna look at the eyeball in the river, and he's just gonna like kind of retch a little bit, hope that it's not Mary Sue's, eyeball from the bakery, and go into the river as well.
Okay.
Mary Sue had such
It's
pretty
totally
blue
Mary
eyes.
Sue's eyeball.
So,
That's terrible.
Ketud, Nephylia, as you enter the river, and Bella too, as you stand in the river is disturbed. The water ripples. You watch as desecrated corpses from the town begin floating to the surface. They seem to move on their own. Severed arms flex and their wrists writhe to swim towards the shore and to you. Eyes twist to gaze at you, and severed heads, their jaws move as if to speak, but say not a word. Hate filling their eyes. Roll initiative.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You're dead. This is the worst. Alright, 18 plus
5.
3, 21.
I got an 18 as well. Well, I guess just a straight up 18.
I got 18 straight up, and then I've got initiative plus 3, so 21.
Gotcha.
5.
So, Ketud, you watch as these familiar faces rise to the surface. You know them, every one. These were your friends. Some of them you counted as family. And some, well, you weren't too fond of some of them, but this is no fate for them. What are you doing?
I'm gonna yell at
Wait.
Ketud and Bella.
We're supposed to go
Not
first.
Ketud and Bella. I'm gonna yell at Bella and Nephylia. Guys, we need to run to the manor up here. And I'm just gonna start running.
All right. You're running in the river, right?
So not through the river, up the coastline, right? To my.
I thought you jumped in.
Yeah, I thought the riverside like goes parallel to the to the.
It's a sharp from grass to water.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So you in or you out?
Well, I'm. Shoot. Right. Okay. Well, you know what? What are we dealing with then, right now?
You have desecrated corpses that are moving towards you.
Probably would. Can I take a step back out of the water and see what happens?
Yeah, it's going to take double movement to get out of the water, so it's going to eat up 10 feet of your movement to get out.
Okay. Guys, get out of the water! I want to yell at Bella and Nephylia and get out of the water.
Alrighty. Do you do anything else?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and cast Minor Illusion. Let me just go ahead and cast like a stone brick mortar wall that runs parallel to where the riverside is, so that way I can, try to get my friends to scramble over the wall per se and hide us from the monsters and see what happens.
Ketud, you have doomed us.
Alright.
Not
So
a big one. It's a small one.
you call out to your party members, get out of the water! You get on land, you cast a minor illusion, a small stone wall appears from nowhere. It's not terribly large, but you can hide behind that. But you can't help but feel other things heard you call out. You look around and you notice that some of these reptilian creatures have turned their gaze towards you and calling out.
Oh.
Bella! Which, my apologies, Bella. You should have gone first. That was my mistake.
You good? You see Bella freeze, begin to hyperventilate, and then she is out of the water and is moving down the riverbank as fast as she can.
All right. It's going to take double movement to move out of the water, because it's water and moving is hard. But you're fast enough that you still out.
I'm also using feline agility, and I'm using all of my actions and bonus actions to move.
Cool. So you out.
Yes, so that is... I'm going to do the calculations right now, because, yes, a lot of movement. 40 movements, doubled 80, action and bonus action, so that's going to be 240 feet of movement.
We'll call it 230, 10 feet to get out of the water.
Right.
So you zoom past the house and then stop. Wait, that house, that's the one he said. And you turn back. You like go 100 feet too far and turn around and you're like, oh, wait, it's over there.
Yes.
All right, cool. So Bella's at your house. Do you do anything else, Bella?
I think that's all of my stuff. I can't use a cunning action, can't use fast hands. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right. Next up, we have these corpses. They squirm in the water. They're moving towards their nearest target, Nephylia. You're still in the water, and you're the easiest thing to grab. And you feel the hands grabbing. There's one on both of your forearms. There's one on each of your ankles. Give me an athletics against their grapple.
That is a 16 plus 3, so a 19.
Well, we tie. Which means you save, so it's okay.
Nice.
So you feel these hands on you. They're grabbing your wrists, your ankles, and they're trying to pull you down. You can feel the muck around your feet. It's beginning to envelop you, but you very quickly, you reach over, you grab the one from your right arm and you cast it aside, the same for the left, and you throw a severed hand, you throw a whole arm, and you reach down, and that is a head biting your ankle to pull you down. You kick it off, and you think you're okay for right now. So Nephylia, you just had to deal with something slightly mortifying, and you've just watched both of your companions very quickly abandon the water. One of them is gone. What are you doing?
How far away is Ketud from me?
Ketud, you didn't go very far off. You're like right on the bank, right?
I'm right on the bank, yeah. I was trying to get them to come to me.
Yeah, so 5 feet, but because you're in the water, it's going to take you 10 feet to get there.
5 feet behind me on the bank, or parallel to me, or...
I imagine you were trying to convince Ketud to get in the water, so you were probably looking at him to bring him in when all of this started. So I think he's 5 feet in front of you.
Okay. When you were saying in order to get out of the water it requires a double action, what do you mean by that?
So it's difficult terrain, which takes twice your movement.
Okay. So, well, hold on. With the feet that...
Oh, wait, no, that's right. You've got mobile. No, you're fine. Yeah, it'll only take you regular.
Okay. So what I would like to do is hop out of the water, grab Ketud by the arm, and then just start hauling ass in the direction that Bella was going.
Ketud, do you fight this?
Nope.
All right, and so you go. Now, getting out is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from the entities in the water.
So, hold on.
Oh, wait,
Before we continue, it does unless she attacks them.
Yeah.
So if she were to make an attack against them, then she would.
Oh, that's true.
Which she did not do.
Fudge sickles.
So there's the opportunity of attack.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't do it, so then, all right.
Oh, by the way, Seamus, I forgot to tell you, I took mobile too, so that the difficult terrain doesn't apply to me either.
Yeah, I got you. One of them told me. All right. So, as you go to move, you feel something against your right leg, right on your calf. It's almost as if something's bitten you. It stings, as though some sort of acid was poured on a wound, as you take 2 points of piercing damage and 1 point of acid damage.
Gross.
Next up, we have Ketud. Ketud, you just watched Bella disappear. She turned into the Flash. She's gone. Savior of the universe. You don't know where she went. Yeah, you have an idea of where she went. Yeah. Meanwhile, you watched Bella. These corpses, these faces you recognize, they grabbed her. They tried to pull her down into this water. She fought them off, and she started running back towards you. She grabbed you and took off. What are you doing?
Just reading spell itinerary. Let's see. We'll see if 30 feet instantly a cantrip. Okay. Can I use? Let's see. How far can I run? Because I'm a little halfling character. I can run 25
I'm a little halfling.
When Nephylia grabbed me, how far did she pull me along? Or did she not pull me along?
Nephylia, take 5 from your movement. That's how far you went.
That would be.
She's like tugging me
45.
behind her, right? Like a doll.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Okay, cool. So right when we get to 25 feet, I'm going to go ahead and cast a minor illusion spell again, but I'm going to place it right where we were, and I'm just going to put that same straw character that we saw in the field.
Scarecrow.
I'm going to put the scarecrow in place of where we were, so that way the reptilian monsters will go up to it and see that, and think that they were seeing that instead of us. And then once I cast that for my one action, then I'll keep running to the house.
Okay. All right, cool. So, is that your turn?
After I cast it, yeah, I want to keep running to the house. I have 25 more movement speed on my own, so we'll be 25 feet from the house.
Alrighty, sounds good. Bella, you've just gotten to the house, but it's interesting. As you get to the house, you kind of trip on something. You look down, expecting to see either a log or a halfling corpse or one of those reptile creatures. Alastor is passed out on the ground where you've just been.
The heck happened to Alastor?
Alright, I am going to I'm going to use my action to try to wake up Alastor, quote unquote. Very, 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 very much touch.
All right. So you kind of get down there and kind of gently on the shoulder. Hey, Alastor, buddy, it's time to wake up. There's a fight going on. And I think that's enough persuasion to wake up Alastor.
Yeah, sure.
Well, speaking of which,
yeah, I apologize for being late. Today's a day.
You good?
Alastor would be equally as confused, and just kind of look around and ask, what's going on?
A lot of bad things. We need to get inside the house.
House?
Bella points.
At this point, Alastor's gonna stand and look towards it and start moving towards it. I don't think he's registering anything that's really going on, just moving.
All right. And so you do. You and Bella both go towards the house. You can actually get into the house this turn if you want.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, vote.
You go up to the door, grab the handle, you turn it, and you walk inside. Is that correct? Okay. Next up, the entities in the water. Well, they cannot catch any of you. So, we're going to do an intelligence check on those reptile creatures to see if they fall for your illusion. What's your spell save DC? Ketud?
I went to the bathroom. What happened?
Spell save DC.
How do I look this up? spell DC is just a 14. I don't know what that's like.
Okay, so whenever you cast a spell like Minor Illusion, creatures get to roll against your spell save DC. If they meet or exceed it, then they see through your illusion. But if they roll lower than it, they buy it 100%. And since they rolled a 9,
Don't worry, they're kobolds. They're not very smart.
hey, you don't know their. Well, actually, no. Bella knows. Bella's met one.
So then, for my spell DC, would I add in my intelligence to that, or just straight up spell DC?
It's just your spell DC, which should already have your intelligence added into it.
Then it's a 14. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Yep. All right. So
Sweet.
you don't know what's going on with those lizard creatures? Something, you guess. Nephylia, what are you doing?
Trying to close the last remaining bits of distance up to the house. So
All right.
we traveled 45 feet on my previous turn. Did we travel while I was dragging Ketud? Did Ketud move any further during his turn?
Yes, 25 feet.
Okay. So we should only need then, because it was 75 feet to the house, right?
Roughly, give or take a few, but yeah.
Okay. So we should be able to make that.
Absolutely, you can get up to it this turn.
Okay. I'm going to continue to drag him along
All
up
right.
to the door.
And so you do, and as you get closer to the house, you notice the river. Where before it was a small section that had turned a sanguine red, you do know that that color was spreading, and the river in its entirety is now blood red and is boiling. Body parts are coming up all throughout the water. You see eyes and heads. You see spines and brains. Everything that can look at you is. Jaws are moving as if to speak but say nothing. Eyes glare at you with hate. But none are able to get to the shore to catch you as you get to the house. You had to use your dash action to get there, so you cannot enter this turn.
Okay.
Next up, we have Ketud.
Okay. So I'd be at the house by now because she pulled me along, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I know that the window is. How big is the window?
The window, it's not terribly large. You know, it's a halfling-sized house now. But it is a good-sized window. You know, your father, he liked to look at the river from inside the home. Of course, he was more into looking at it from the outside. He had a little fishing chair set up on a porch. But the window just on the side of that porch, it's roughly 3 feet wide and 3 feet tall. It's not a very large window, but it's perfect for a halfling.
I feel like with how our members are in the group, we're all pretty skinny. I feel like being in the group, we should be able to fit through it. I'm gonna go up to the. What was that?
There's a door.
Is there actually a door? I thought
There is a door.
There's a window.
There's a door.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought you said that there was just a window.
You can go through the window. I'm not stopping you, but there is also a door.
There goes my big brain moment. Actually, no, it doesn't. I want to go up to the door, and
Stubborn means you're still gonna go through the window.
No, will it cost an action to try to jiggle the door handle and see if it opens?
No, it won't.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay, it is not locked. Nothing happens. You can open it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then we'll open it.
Didn't Bella and Alastor already go through the same door? Like just a few
You don't know
seconds
that.
ago?
I was in the
You don't know
bathroom,
that.
Goobers, I didn't know. I was
Okay,
going to use
that's
Mage
fair.
Hand
We
and like
didn't-
unlock
we
the
wouldn't
door
know that.
behind us. I didn't see this.
That's fair.
Nerds, god dang it. All right, I'm going to open the door, and just can I get a spell ready to cast?
Yeah, you know what? I'll say you can get a spell ready to cast. It's gonna take an action. You will have effectively cast the spell. What's the trigger for the spell, and what spell is it?
Minor illusion. The second Bella or Nephylia gets to the door will close, and I will cast minor illusion on the door to make it look like that it's just a mortar wall and that there is no door.
Okay. So you grab the door handle, you prepare your spell, you open the door and walk through. Nephylia. The haze around you begins to thicken. You can hear the beating of wings. What you doing?
I'm gonna yeet myself into that door.
Okay. You go up to the door, and you very quickly go through. Now, it is an interesting thing, stepping through this door. As you each grab the handle and walk through, you look back, to see the river, to see the haze behind you, anything, so that you have one last look to make sure it's safe, that nothing's followed you. But on looking back after stepping through the threshold, you see nothing. You see naught but void darkness behind you. The door you held it open a moment ago, you know this, but it feels like a distant memory. You don't know how, but before you,
Oh, no.
there's a cavern, and it is most unsettling. There's a green haze that fills this cavern. It's illuminated by torches and fires. It's massive, taller than you can see. The walls are slick and appear melted.
Do we all see this, or is it just
Yes.
Nephylia?
No, all of you.
Oh.
Are we all together while we're observing this? Or are
Yes,
we-
and it's an interesting thing. Bella and Alastor, you both came through here first. You know that. But you all appeared here at the same time.
Oh, no.
This is some
Would-
wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit.
Would Ketud recognize this place?
You know this place very, very well.
Here we go. Alright, one out of the fire into the frying pan, I suppose, or however the expression goes.
Are we still in initiative?
No.
Okie dokie.
I think we're in. I think we're in the dragon's cave, guys.
How the hell did that happen? You know what? Never mind. I don't even.
Yeah.
There's no point in me asking that question.
So, give me a minute to think. I believe the dragon took us down this hallway, or not hallway, but this cavern. Sorry, it's hallway possibly compared to a dragon size. Would I know which way to go to get out of the mountain that is a part of this dragon's den?
You think back, trying to find any memory of the way out. You cannot recall. It was not necessarily your power alone that let you escape this place.
Right. Guys, I'm gonna pull Gandalf. I have no recollection of this place, but I know where we are. We're in the dragon's den. I wish I could tell you how to get out, but I feel like wherever we are is playing some kind of foul spell in my eyes because I can't remember how to get out of here. Not
real
on my
quick,
own, anyway.
I'm super sorry that I'm interrupting. I have to change concourses. I have to change gates, so I will be back in a few minutes. Sorry.
Okay.
Go for it. I got Bella. You good?
I hate when they do that.
I know, right? It's awful, especially in Atlanta where, it's everywhere.
I still think it's buck wild that he's playing D&D in the middle of the airport. That's so funny.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome too. All right. So Neffy's gonna hear that you don't, either something's clouding your judgment or clouding your recollection or whatever. And she's just gonna sigh and shrug and go, well, what's the next step? Where's safety? Do you remember where we are in the cavern? Do you remember how to get maybe to your family?
Well, if history tells a story at all, I would rather not think about my family right now. Know what's happening to them. But there's either one of two ways we can go. Either we go this way and hope to whatever gods you may believe in that we don't run into the dragon's nest, or we can go this way and hope the same thing and hope that we find the way out. I feel as I don't know which way it was.
You don't remember how to get back to where you and your family were held?
No, I can't remember. You have to understand, I'm sorry. I should have told you this earlier, but the dragon you see wasn't intent on killing everyone and destroying the village. The dragon just wanted to take us for its pleasure and take us for its fellow reptilian monsters that it has down here. It took us not for food, it took us not for wealth, it didn't take us for anything, just for sport and its own pleasure and amusement. And, well, you see, I escaped, but it wasn't through anything else but mere luck and whatever deity is in charge of me right now. But that's a story.
Well, we just need to find a way to. It sounds like we just need to find a way to trigger that again.
I certainly hope I don't have to talk to my deity again. But either way, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this this whole area, this whole world, or whatever it is, plane of existence that we're on, is going to make us face these things that we don't want to.
But what power could possibly bring up the memory of this? I don't believe I've ever told anyone about this memory, save for you, save for you guys here, and not to mention the conjure the image of that dragon. That's not petty magic that we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with something bigger, I feel like. Alastor, do you know any demigods or minor gods that have the power to do this kind of thing?
You've asked Alastor this question before.
This is on a different level. This isn't like someone's hokey pokey wannabe ritual to bring back a demilich, or this is something different. We might even be in a different plane, like Alastor was talking about earlier.
Well, right now, standing around isn't doing us any good, so we need to continue moving. You remember what happens if we lollygag?
Yes, you're right. Although I will not
Discussing it isn't going to change it.
I won't lie to you, but I am vastly afraid of that dragon, those kobolds. So.
Time to face your fears, little halfling.
Alright, so remind me again, which way, how does the cavern work? Is there like a back and a forward, or is that just one straight line?
The cavern is one large room. It's kind of circular, but as circular as a natural formation can get. Where you are right now, you're behind some large boulders. You're kind of in a little recess hidden away.
Okay. Well, Ketud will very cautiously look over around the corner of the boulders and see if he can see anything.
As you look around behind the boulders, the cavern is populated with cages of halflings and reptilian creatures roaming about. You can hear the weeping of children from the cages, asking where their parents have gone, the cold faces of men that have accepted their fates, and women tenderly reassuring folks that everything will be well, though in their voices you can hear it plainly. They're lying. The cavern is large, and through the thick green, foul haze, you cannot see the other end. But you can see the shadow of the monster. It's plain to see opposite of the cavern. It is a looming silhouette. You can faintly hear the heavy breathing of the beast. From what you can see here, you cannot see every wall, you cannot see every way to go, but from what you can see, there is no other cave, no other door, no tunnel or river. You look up, and you see for the briefest of moments a glimpse of the gray clouds that have been above you this entire adventure, before they are obscured by the haze.
Well, what did I say? Wow, snickerdoodles, guys.
Oh, that's $5 in the swear jar.
It looks like we're in the pit of everything. That dude's gonna just... he's gonna look up, just shivering because he's scared. And how far away is the ceiling from the clouds?
It is terribly, terribly far. Looking up, you're not even sure. Best estimate, a couple 100 feet.
Nephi, question. So the description you just gave, where you said Ketud looked up, briefly saw the gray clouds, and then it faded back into the cavern. Is that what you were trying, or that what you said?
No, it's... You could see the sky for a brief moment, but there's this green sulfuric smelling haze.
Oh.
So it's a brief moment where the haze was thin, he could see, and then everything fills up again.
Okay, so there's an opening in the top.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I feel like we need a plan to get out of here. I could have sworn that there was a way that we could go in and out for the kobolds to take. Some kind of, like, hallway. Some kind of, like, mine shaft, if you will, that ran between the kobolds and the mountain to get out. I feel like... Ketu's kind of like talking in a quiet, hushed voice. I feel like maybe if... Alastor, do you have minor illusion?
No.
You have prestidigitation, though, right?
Yes.
I feel like maybe if we stack prestidigitation and minor illusion on this haze, maybe we can use it to our advantage and make us look hazy. And maybe we can try to carefully go from pillar to pillar and see if we can get a way out. Because it looks like to me all the kobolds is over there. And, I mean, I should also say, we seem to be stuck in a bowl right now with the dragon in us. We can't. Nephylia, you're right. We can't stay here, but we can't be sprinting everywhere. We have to be really careful about this. Bella's probably the sneakiest one out of us all. Maybe we can have Bella very carefully use her eyes to scout ahead every few pillars, and we can follow in her wake.
I really don't want to get near that dragon.
No, I don't blame you, Bella. I don't think any of us should. What I'm thinking is that the dragon that I saw is over there. I'm going to point to the far wall, along with all the kobolds over there. And if you listen, you can probably hear the screaming of halflings. As gruesome as that sounds, if we can go around the perimeter of the cavern, maybe we can find an exit. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, I can probably do that.
Alastor and Nephylia, what do you guys think? Nephylia, can you fly?
What am I, a bird?
Well, no. You made that monster, that scarecrow, fly.
I can only do that like once a day.
For how long?
About 10 minutes. I can keep it up, but I'm
What
a little.
I was just wondering, maybe you could get a height advantage and see over us. But,
Not today, sir. I'm all tapped out.
right. What do you guys think about this plan? About using prestidigitation and minor illusion to basically thicken the haze, so that way we can go from pillar to pillar on the perimeter of the wall, right, of the giant cavern that we're in. And
Who has minor illusion?
I have minor illusion. It's a cantrip. I can use it whenever.
Okay.
Alastor has prestidigitation, which it could possibly add some extra flair to it. Not necessarily like overzealous, just make it more like hazy-ish, right? So I can cover us with like a haze, and she can help with, or he can help with the haze as well. And then Bella can go ahead and scout ahead using her sneak, and go from pillar to pillar. And if she sees anything, that she can like hold up a hand and say stop. If not, that she can like wave us. That's my plan right now.
Alastor, what do you think?
DM ruling needed. Does the thing I can't say. Does it work that way?
So, Prestigo, it can be used in a lot of creative ways, and you're trying to use it to thicken the haze, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really pushing the spell to its limits, but you can color surfaces for a period of time. Now, you'll have to be constantly casting the spell, because you can only do that for a small surface, but I'm willing to call the haze, this gaseous substance, a surface that you can color. And it's really pushing the spell to its limits, but I'm willing to allow it.
What's the range on prestidigitation?
Like 60 feet, I think?
Can we instead just cover ourselves in color, and then I can
one
use
object.
Haze? One object, dang it, okay.
Yeah, it's singular.
Alright, maybe we can just stick with the original plan of keeping the haze itself the color, and try to like camouflage us as we're going from pillar to pillar. And then I can help with that as well with my minor illusion. Okay.
I don't know, I just think minor illusion's gonna be more useful than prestidigitation.
What other spells do you have?
I have that, and I have Mage Hand, Firebolt, Shocking Grasp, Shield, Magic Missile, Mage Armor, and my good old trusty Misty Step.
Okay.
But I think we used that last session.
Oh wait,
It's
you
been
can't
a
use that
while.
repetitively. Okay.
Yeah, I can only use that one today.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we might as well just go forward and see if we can use those spells to help us out. I think your spell DC is probably higher than mine, though. That's what I'm saying, is we have like that double buffer behind us.
You hear a sudden, loud scream from the halfling cages.
Do not want.
Is it in front of us, or are we able to?
They're towards the cages, so you're kind of behind a few large rocks right now in a little recess on the wall. But you can kind of peek around and look if you want.
Hey, pilot. Oh.
All right.
Before, if that sounds like a good plan, before anyone moves, let me and Alastor cast our spells first before you guys go, so that way they don't run out.
I'm not gonna run out, but due to the sudden scream, Nephi is just going to peek around the corner and see if she can identify where it's coming from, and I guess see what she can see.
Perception.
The shiver's gonna run down Ketud's spine, but he's not gonna look.
So that would be 16.
You look over, and you very quickly you see the cages. You're just by them, and you see a number of those kobolds. They're dragging out a young halfling girl. She can't be more than perhaps 17. She's very, very young for a halfling. Pulling her out by her legs. She's clawing at the cage to stay in with her family. She's screaming, begging for help from the other halflings who turn away.
How many kobolds is it?
3.
Do I see any others in the area?
Nope.
Do what Nephylia would do. What would Nephylia do? Not up to us.
Nephilia would absolutely go running in there, so let me see how I want this to happen. Okay. I'm going to... Are the kobolds' backs turned to me?
You're kind of towards their side. You're a little behind them, but it's like if they're here pulling somebody out of the cage, you're back here, so it's a slight angle, but you are towards their back.
Okay. So I would be able to, like, curve around if I'm trying to sneak up behind and do, like, a sneak attack?
You can try.
Okay. I am going to...
How far away is this cage?
It's not far. Maybe 25 feet from where you guys are in the wall.
So she is going to attempt to sneak up behind the 3 kobolds.
Give me a stealth.
Nephylia, what are you doing?
Oh, thank God. Well, I don't know if that's good or not. That's a 15.
Okay.
And once she is within range...
Hold up. When Ketud sees Nephylia run away, Ketud's gonna look at Alastor and just wonder what Nephylia is doing, and Ketud's gonna cast Minor Illusion on the haze around Nephylia to assist her with hiding. Since.
Okay. All right, Nephylia, I'm going... Welcome back. Nephylia, I'm going to give you an option. With Ketud's action, you have the opportunity. I'm going to let you choose. You can roll stealth again if you would like, but you'll have to keep the new number. Are you happy with 15, or do you want to roll again?
I'd rather keep 15. I think that's the safer option.
Cool.
Okay. I'll run up behind and... Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to utilize, or I'm going to attack one of them and then use Fury of Blows to follow it up.
Alrighty, initiative.
That would be 12.
From all of us or just her?
Everybody.
I got an 18 again.
19 plus 3, that's 22.
I got a 16.
And Nephylia, what did you get again?
12.
All right. So, Nephylia, you're the one that's snuck up on these things, so you're going to go ahead and get the first move here. You have come up on them, right behind them. They don't seem to have noticed you. You get up on the first one, you ready your fist. This poor girl, she needs your help. And you strike it from behind, roll to attack.
I have a question for you.
Yes?
Hand of Harm, it's one of the Way of Mercy features that has me utilize my key to inflict the wound. It says, so if I was to utilize Hand of Harm, can I use Fury of Blows afterwards, since Fury of Blows says it's an attack, or after your attack?
I'm gonna say yes, but I haven't read on this yet, so that might change later. But for right now, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. I'm going to utilize Hand of Harm for my initial attack. And it uses my key. It says, when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you spend 1 key point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. I can only use this feature once per turn.
Cool.
Okay. So roll to attack. That would be +5, 17. Yeah, 17.
17 hits. How hard did you hit?
Okay, so trying to read this right. So I do my normal martial arts damage and then extra necrotic damage. Okay, so that's... So the regular damage is going to be 5 all day. The necrotic part. Where did I just put that? Necrotic damage equal to 1 roll of the die plus your wisdom modifier. My wisdom modifier is 2, so that would be 4. So 4 necrotic, 5 regular. Or wait, no. The martial arts is bludgeoning.
Alrighty. So that's 9 total damage.
Yes.
Alrighty. So you come up behind this first kobold. It doesn't know you're there, and you reach out, expelling some of your inner energy through your palm into the back of this creature. You can feel its life force wither as your energy goes into its back. It winces in pain and turns around to see you doing what?
Oh, I get to be cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, going up with my elbow and going, night, night.
All right. And so you catch this thing's face with your elbow, knocking it to the ground. Now, is that your turn?
Well, now, since that was my attack, can I utilize Fury of Blows after that?
Which is a bonus action, correct?
Yes, immediately after you take your attack turn.
Yes, you can.
So it's 2 unarmed strikes. I'm going to go for the... I'm going to go for whichever kobold... did I get the kobold that was dragging the girl, or...?
I think that would have been your primary target.
Okay. So then I'm just going to go for whichever the next one... Whoever looks uglier.
Okay. I'll say that's kobold number 3.
Yeah, that guy. Fuck that guy. Oh, sorry.
Stream's rated T.
Snickerdoodles. And 17. So that would be
Nursing cookies. Ginger snap.
22? Jesus.
No, it doesn't hit.
Really?
No, it hits.
Oh, man. That one kobold.
He's like stacked in armor, you know. You can't hit this guy.
Right. So that is a 4 for my first hit.
don't think that was a snickerdoodle, that guy. I think that was more of a macaron, that guy.
Yeah.
I said a ginger snap because he's.
The next one is a 16 for the hit, or to roll the hit.
Yep, that makes contact.
Okay. And then that one is going to be, that would be 4. So that's 8 all day.
You strike this one once in the back and once in the side. It kind of gasps for air for a second, but it is still standing. Now, we are going back to the regular initiative. You just kind of started things off, so. First up, Bella. You've witnessed Nephylia. She went around. You heard some kind of commotion on the other side. What are you doing? I'm gonna assume Pilot is still...
Bella's catching that flight.
I am cutting in and out. I do not know what's going on.
All right, cool. I got Bella until you can come
The
in.
internet is really bad.
I gotcha.
There we go. I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Cool.
I got it.
What you doing?
So I heard what was going on. How far away are they?
Roughly 25 feet, give or take a few.
Bella is going to blitz around, get behind the 2 of the kobolds, and she is going to make her attacks, because she has daggers now, which are a lot better because I can use 2-weapon fighting. Yay!
Alrighty.
So I'm going to attack with the first dagger. It's +5 to hit. So let me see here. That's 14 plus 5. That's a 19.
No, it doesn't hit.
Please stop talking, sir.
Yeah, it hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, 1d4 plus 3 piercing. So if I can find my d4s, that would be really nice if I have any here. Let me dig through my bag of dice.
Let us know if you need us to roll for you.
No, I know I have one here. I see it. It's right there. There's the caltrop.
Maybe don't say
that's
caltrop in an
3.
airport.
No, no.
What? I get it.
Anyways, that's 6 damage. And then I get a secondary attack with my bonus action.
Go for it.
Okay. And that is going to be a 11 plus 5, so a 16.
16 does hit. How hard did you stab this thing?
That's 4 damage plus 3, so 7. So that's looking like 13 damage in total.
Alright, and as you slice the side...
And then I'm going to...
As you slice the side of this this first one, it drops to the ground incredibly fast, almost like a rock.
Are we still here? Are you still getting me?
Yeah, we got you. You killed the first kobold.
Okay. Okay. And then Bella is going to use her 40 feet of movement, or sorry, the rest of her movement to dip back out of combat if she has any movement left.
Cool. So you, Nephylia, I think you'd be the only one to see this. You watch as Bella zooms around, just stabs this thing twice in the side, lets it drop, and then runs out. Ketud, you heard a commotion on the other side after Bella ran off. What are you doing?
want to turn the corner and see how many kobolds are left. How many are left?
You see 2 dead kobolds and 1 that looks not very happy. It looks like he's about to drop.
Okay. What's the girl on the ground doing?
She, it looks like, is still trying to right herself and go back to the other halflings.
Okay. Is she still screaming?
It's less screaming now and more uncontrollable sobbing.
Okay. She's still making this. That's good. All right. Well, Ketud is annoyed. He's gonna run up to the kobold. That's 25 feet, which is 25 feet of my movement exactly. And well, actually, first he's gonna look at Alastor real fast as he's, going there and says no magic, and then he's gonna go to the kobold and punch it.
Okay, roll an unarmed attack.
All right. What? So I got a 10. What do I add?
For an unarmed attack, that would be your strength.
Okay, that's a 9 then.
All right. So you run up to this thing, and you go to punch it, but you're not necessarily the strongest man. And you make contact, but it doesn't move. Actually, you think you hurt your hand a little bit.
That's fine. That's all my movement speed. What can I do with my bonus action? Can I I don't know if I can do anything with my bonus action. I'll just stand there awkwardly, I guess.
All right. Just kind of play it off a little bit, like, yeah, I did that.
Well, I mean, the kobold is hanging on a thread right now. Maybe the kobold is going to just, I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. So, Alastor, you've heard a bit of a commotion as everybody's run around. Bella came back. Ketud told you no magic and has just run over there. You heard a very faint ow in a halfling voice. What are you doing?
I'm gonna be real with you. If I'm not allowed to use magic, I'm useless.
Do you have a dagger in your pack?
What?
Did you not bring a
No.
dagger? Dang.
I've got a wand.
Smack it with your staff or your wand. Poke its eye out.
Smack it with your mama wand.
Smack him with your 8-foot frame.
It can't have any more than 2 or 3 health.
Who needs a quarterstaff? I am the quarterstaff.
Alastor just body slams.
I would have done it, but I
What?
only have 25 feet of movement.
What, all 140 pounds of just beanpole? Okay.
That is actually an adequate weapon.
I don't know. I'm useless without magic. Why am I not allowed to use magic? I don't understand.
I can't tell you that because I can't tell you my reason for it until after we're done.
Oh god. Let me look at what all I have in my inventory.
Just out of curiosity, if you were to take the wand and crack it over the back of somebody's head, is that just bludgeoning? Are you able to do that?
Improvised weapon.
You can, and Chef's right, that would be an improvised weapon.
Which I do not have a feat for, which I'm pretty sure you need a feat